Have any of you seen a UFO? That's what I thought. Unidentified flying object. It's such a safe term, isn't it? Like if you say you saw one and people look at you funny, you can say, I didn't say I saw an alien. I said it was an object and it was flying and it was unidentified. And the way we think about UFOs and aliens is so influenced by Hollywood and the movies we watched when we were growing up, right? So if you're my age, when you think of alien, probably the first thing that comes to mind is a skinny, gray, slightly out of focus creature that talks like this. Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. And maybe if you're a bit younger, you think more of like a cuddly, chubby little creature that goes, ouch. But in the 90s, things got kind of nasty. And I don't mean the currently popular kind of nasty. I mean the like eating us and enslaving us kind of nasty. But they turned around again, and if you were essentially born yesterday, you might think of aliens as like giant blue creatures that do yoga in a glow stick rainforest. But these are Tinseltown fairy tales, and I'm here to tell you a real story about a UFO right here in Vancouver. My friend Ingrid and I saw a UFO. We were driving from East Van to the West End on a night very much like this. We were flying over the Georgia Street Viaduct in her ancient, tiny, rattling Honda Civic. Radio on, laughing and chatting as we were prone to do. When suddenly, there it was. But maybe I should say there it wasn't, because we heard it before we saw it, but we didn't really hear it. You see, all of a sudden, there was a complete absence of sound. No cars, no radio. My own lips were moving and I was trying to talk and there was no sound coming out. I had no idea what was going on, but something prompted me to look up. And there it was, right above us. And when I say right above us, I mean right above us. I could see the detail in what my mind was telling me was the bottom. And it was big. It was so big, it blocked out my view of the sky, all across my view. Ingrid and I were looking up, looking at each other, but I wasn't driving, so I knew I could look longer, and I was trying not to blink and thinking to myself, take it all in, look at this thing, take it all in. It had no lights on it, so it was being illuminated by the city itself. And it was all one color, kind of dark gray, and that makes it sound kind of boring, but it wasn't. It was beautiful. It had the most intricate geometric patterns on the bottom of it, and they were three-dimensional, like they'd been carved, and they were all made out of straight lines and perfect right angles. It was amazing, and then it was gone, just like that. It didn't fly away, it was just there, and then it was gone, and the sound came back. And Ingrid and I just stared at each other astounded. But as soon as it was gone, it seemed immediately like it was a dream. I mean, come on. I could hardly believe my eyes. Do you believe it? I have racked my brain for years to try and figure out what it could possibly be. Okay, let's dispense with the obvious. Were we high? Okay, I'm telling you, we were as sober as you are now. Okay, that might not be a great reference for most of you, but we hadn't even had a drink that night. Okay, other option. Could it have been a stealth military aircraft? Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't think flying something the size of BC Place Stadium at low altitude over the Georgia Viaduct is very stealth. Could it have been an optical illusion that affected us both at the same time? Maybe, but I don't know about an optical illusion that makes you go deaf. I have racked my brain for all the possibilities that could be. Okay, there's one other possibility. It might be possible that Ingrid and I were deeply immersed in a personal growth cult run by a woman who wore a long black leather coat down to her ankles, and she looked like she just walked out of the Matrix. And she had created her teachings by stealing a mishmash of ideas from Scientology, Edgar Cayce, Realism, the UFO cult, and thrown in a dash of Star Trek just for good measure. And she had taught us that not only had aliens been the original humans on Earth who kind of crashed here and got trapped here, but also by some weird simultaneous reincarnation and time travel all at the same time, that we, her devoted students, were those aliens from the past, while at the same time being aliens from the future who would come back to save ourselves from ourselves. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Do you?